My wife handcuffed me to the bed, took my pants off, and winked at me, saying she would be right back.
Oh, yeah.
It's been an hour now, and all I smell is gas.
Hey, yeah. Weezy gang gang, Weezy gang gang, Weezy gang gang, Weezy gang gang, yo. Weezy gang gang, Weezy gang gang, yo. Weezy gang gang, yo.
2 Sinister horror stories animated by Dr. No Sleep.
Dr. No Sleep.
Count backwards from 100, said the dentist. As I slipped into unconsciousness, I saw the hand that held the drill drift from my mouth to my eye, trapped and starving in a World War I trench. I gave my last ration to my best friend and partner.
Is that Hitler?
Adolf seemed so passionate about having a future in politics. It would be wrong to let him die. I love going to the beach and watching the difference between the low and high tides. Although this tide has been very low for quite some time. No one will
I don't
ever
know what that
believe
means.
you, he said with a shimmering grin as he held the knife. I tried to stop him from taking it from me, but with each bloody thrust into his own chest, I knew the police would never believe it really was a suicide.
What? Hey!
The school jocks all gathered in a corner and started yelling at me. Don't, please.
He got a gun.
I begged as I aimed down my sights. I took one last gulp of air as I continued sinking helplessly.
That's gotta be top 3 terrifying ways to die. Sinking in quicksand? Quicksand? What is the word? I can't say the word because I'm so terrified.
Into the quicksand. I opened my eyes under the sand just to see hundreds of bodies frozen in place, their eyes blinking frantically at me. My dad left 3 days ago. I hope he comes home soon. I don't think Mommy is supposed to be underwater this long.
Underwater this long?
Do it, I whispered. Man, I love working on the suicide hotline.
Hey, yo! Hey, yo, bro, what? Nigga said, do it. Man, I love, what? This is insane, bro. Diabolical, evil, nasty, disrespectful, disgusting work. Yo!
I finished telling her about my nightmare that involved a tragic car crash. That's strange. I had the same dream last night, too.
Oh, y'all
the last
done?
thing she said before a tractor trailer began to swerve into our lane. I never thought my
That wasn't a tractor trailer. That was a truck with a trailer. Either way, they had dead.
walking was a problem. That all changed when I woke up in the middle of murdering the family across the street.
What? What type of
I'm
sleepwalking?
going
This man a sleepwalking serial killer. How do you remain asleep and know where people are with what? Y'all what?
I'm going through a lot of things right now.
Yeah.
I jokingly said aloud to myself as my car continued to crash through the store's interior.
Bro, what?
I worked at an oil rig in the 70s. One day we drilled very deep down, hoping to find an oil deposit. But instead, we were met with 1 billion screams.
Sheesh.
They say that every time you learn something, a new wrinkle appears on your brain. After some investigation, I was angry to find out that my students didn't learn anything from my lessons.
Crazy teacher!
Did you know that the Center for Disease Control keeps a sample of every disease known to man in an underground vault?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Did you know that some of those diseases can only be preserved inside of living human hosts?
I did not know that.
My son asked, Mom, can I play with the kids in the basement? We had just moved in. My
No!
doctor said the first symptom is memory loss. My doctor said the first symptom is memory loss. I must be a good boy. I must be a good boy, the dog kept repeating to himself. After being told so many times not to bark, he remained silent as he watched the serial killer silently sneak in through the window.
Oh,
As they
man.
came around the corner, I lunged for the cage doors, screaming and pleading for help. You have to get me out of here. I told you this haunted house has the most realistic actors. One of them laughed
Nah, bro, need
as
help.
they walked away. Today marks 12 years of sobriety for me. As I perched over my next victim, knife in hand, I realized this filled the void much better than alcohol ever did.
No,
Someone
bro,
broke
go
into
back.
my house today while my parents were out. I tried shaking the chains as hard as I could to get their attention, but the basement walls were too thick. My
Sheesh.
wife handcuffed me to the bed,
Okay.
took my pants off,
Yeah.
and winked at me, saying she would be right back.
Oh, yeah.
It's been an hour now, and all I smell is gas. The terror of
Yo! Imagine you with your baby boo bunny and she try some freaking stuff. She like, I'm about to tie you up, baby. I'm about to make sure you can't move. And you like, yeah, I like that. Make sure I can't move. And she like, I'm gonna be right back, daddy. And you like, ooh, I love my life. And she gone an hour and you smell gas? She about to explode your ass. What? Bruh. Terrified. But this is somebody you trust, though. Somebody you've been with for a while. They tie you up. I mean, that couldn't have been nobody he been with for a while. I had to be like a little fling. He met her at the club, took her back to the crib. She was like, I'm gonna tie you up. He was like, ooh, you wild. I like you. You out here at the club just wild and tying people up, huh? Dad, don't think with your dick. Number one lesson right there. It gets you in some crazy ass situations.
sleep paralysis has plagued me for my entire life.
Okay.
Staring up at the crematory ceiling, I wish I'd known it would stay with me in death.
Oh, I thought
My
he was
daughter-
just, I thought he was fakely pronounced dead and they just put him in there. Yo, he stuck in his body after he died in it? That is terrible.
Told me about her imaginary friend that lives in the basement. I then realized she found the body. My family protected me
Yo.
from the monsters as I took my last schizophrenia pill.
Okay.
When I opened my eyes, only the monsters remained.
So this nigga was imagining his family and the monsters was real?
What's big, yellow, and can't swim? A school bus full of children.
Oh,
It's
no,
okay,
bro.
darling. The new babysitter is here to put you to bed,
Yeah.
my mother said as she hugged me and smiled at the young woman behind her. I'm surprised she couldn't feel me shaking as I looked upon the face that I'd been seeing outside my window for weeks.
Say
Look,
something.
Mommy, a giant snake. My son ran into the street to examine it, but he began violently convulsing and his
Yeah.
body went limp.
That ain't no
seconds
snake.
after touching the fallen wire.
Oh, no.
As she held my hand,
That was
she
electric
broke
eel.
down sobbing and apologized to me again and again.
Okay.
That's probably a bad sign coming from a palm reader. I was driving in my car when I heard pounding in my trunk.
Okay.
I realized he wasn't dead.
Huh.
I decided to finally shoot the person that ruined my life.
It's you.
But as I pulled the trigger,
Yeah.
everything went
dark. Crazy.
I never believed in hell until I heard screams from the well in my backyard.
Call the police. What?
Always kept my family videotapes locked away in the basement.
Okay.
I can't risk giving clues to where my son's body is.
Yo!
I finally woke up with a serious pain in my stomach after
Okay.
being hit in the head.
All right.
You are awake, she said, as she continued to stitch the baby in me.
Stitch the baby in
She
you?
held her child
What does that mean? How is that? What? Stitch the baby in you? How that work?
warmly, happy she was finally a mother.
Okay.
She stepped over the once large and pregnant body of the woman her husband had been seeing at night,
No!
wiping the blood off the knife on her skirt.
Okay.
My best friend said she was a cannibal. I thought she was joking until I saw her eating my sister.
What?
The principal of my
Man,
son's
beat her
school
up.
called me at work today to tell me my son pushed another kid while on a school excursion.
Okay.
I initially thought that this hardly warranted a phone call
Oh.
until I remembered that my son's excursion was to the Grand Canyon.
Oh
Battery
no.
at 1%. I looked at Earth one last time before my suit ran out of power. I put up some pretty solid posts last night, but I woke up this morning and noticed that almost all of them got taken down. I can't help but wonder if they made it past the fence this easy. Who's to say they aren't already inside? I kept
They are.
reminding the little boy that he was going to meet SpongeBob.
Okay.
He eventually stopped crying and even helped me tie the bricks to his feet.
Oh no.
I framed the first
No, bruh. No. Told the kid he gonna meet SpongeBob and tie bricks to his feet. That's sick. What is going on here? These niggas is sick. You gonna meet SpongeBob? What?
letter I got as a police officer. I framed the first letter I got as a police officer from a woman thanking me after I'd supported her through her daughter's suicide. I passed it in my hallway every day for nearly 8 years before realizing the handwriting was the same as on the girl's suicide note. I hum quietly as I rock my 1-week-old, kissing her forehead softly. The doctors are wrong. I just know she'll take her first breath soon.
Oh,
Once
man.
there was an ugly barnacle.
Okay.
He was so ugly that everyone died.
What?
My wife approached me with a plate and asked,
Okay.
"Have you had enough or do you want more?" I raised my hands
Oh!
in surrender as I spat out blood.
Oh!
But it was a rhetorical question, as yet another dish shattered against my skull.
Oh!
With a
bruh.
smile, I told the genie I wished for happiness. He
Yeah.
laughed at me, and with a snap, I felt my heart finally stop beating. A
Damn.
child growing up as an orphan is too terrible to think about. So I approached the sobbing girl,
Hey!
stepping over the bodies of her
Hey!
parents, with the hammer raised once more.
Hey!
Gravity is a mere illusion and can be easily ignored if you use your brain enough.
Okay.
Wow, kids are really gullible these days, I thought to myself, watching them lining up at the window, which is on the 9th floor.
Oh
My grandfather has Alzheimer's. I've been removing one small body part per day,
Why?
and he doesn't even know he's losing them. Not only are these the most severe sunburns I've ever seen, but she's deficient in vitamin D and protein, explained the doctor as she stood by the little girl's bed in the ER. After she left the room, the girl's father leaned over to his daughter and whispered, "Sweetie, I know you are starving, but this is why we only feed at night. This sub is falling apart." I
Vampire.
told them the torpedo protection wasn't that good. It seems you have discovered an entirely new type of termite. I felt the terror rise in my chest as the doctor turned around with the x-rays. This also explains the aching you've been feeling in your bones.
Damn, termites in
Thanks
your
for watching.
bones?
Let's run up and lately been feeling like Hemi Turner, cause whatever I'm wishing for, nigga, I'm getting it. I'm disrespectful the way that I'm spitting it. I am so ill and you niggas illiterate. So where you been hard to find like the clitoris. Speaking of Ben, I've been stacking these Benjamins.